also is just genuinely very good. So Vindicta's gonna have to really impress us. If he were to take a map off of HeRoMaRiNe, I would be super impressed. Some people might say, well, that's just talking down to the guy. One map off of a pro? Shouldn't he be able to do that? Guys, like, it's HeRoMaRiNe. Like, this is also off-server for Vindicta. He doesn't really probably have too much practice against HeRoMaRiNe, so there's not really comfortable. And HeRoMaRiNe, despite any recent performances, is just generally always high up on the ladder and always very smart, which comes in handy when it comes to TvT. So, I'd be really impressed. It is one of the stranger things that can happen on the bracket.
Right, Captain.
Thank you, Asata SC2 for the 8-month resub. Alright, on Nightshade here, top left, we have the blue Terran Vindicta. In the bottom right, as the red Terran, we do have HeRoMaRiNe. I'm sure many people are expecting to cast him later on in this bracket, which is a fair assessment. But getting to see him in a TvT early on. Because of the virus, there's fewer subs. No, it's just it's because there are so many options of supporting streamers now. Generally, you just don't see, like, new tier 1 subs. It's just... It used to be that if you ever saw a subscriber, you know, 7 years ago when Twitch was first really getting up, if you ever saw a subscriber, they had to be tier 1 subs, right? That was the only option. Literally, there was no tiers, there was no gift subs, Twitch Prime wasn't a thing yet. So that's the only way you'd ever determine your success. And tier 1 subs generally are, you expect them to commit more than a Twitch Prime sub, for instance, which can kind of be like, you know, thrown to every which streamer every month, which is totally fine. I'm just explaining the logistics here. So when you see a tier 1 sub nowadays, when you have all of these options, right, it's actually the rarer thing to happen. Yeah. Even people who like gift subs, for instance, oftentimes aren't a tier 1 or tiered sub, or whatever you want to call them, right? The subscribers that aren't gifted or not Twitch Prime. So it's usually a nicer, because Twitch streamers generally expect them to stay more than a Twitch Prime sub or a gifted sub, right? It's usually a nicer way of accounting for how your channel growth is going and how much money you'll get per month, because of course it fluctuates no matter what. So that's why I was saying it feels special. It just doesn't happen as often as it used to, because there's so many other options there. Always harder to convert a new client than add to an existing account. That also is absolutely correct. You put that much better than I ever could. Thank you, Pezdingo. That's exactly what I was also trying to explain. This can sometimes be a bit frightening. Sometimes the grenades just don't go on your favor type thing, but both of them doing the similar builds, like, it wasn't supposed to really add up to too much. And they are both doing similar builds, but the difference is here we got a factory already producing a Cyclone for Vindicta, whereas HeRoMaRiNe, feeling very confident, actually swaps his factory off instantly to build a Raven. So this is really notable as, I say instantly, it was after a Hellion and a Widowmine. But anyways, it's notable because without a Cyclone, you are opening up yourself to maybe some dangers. If it was like a really one-base build, right? But it's not a one-base build, it's a factory expand, which only stays on one base for so long. And he did get a Widowmine, which is actually kind of a cute addition. That means that his Raven is going to be faster. The second Raven's going to be faster. And he feels like he can skip the Cyclone, which truly, if you can, the Cyclone doesn't help you past, like, the 6-minute mark, right? It dies far too easily to the surplus of Marines that exist in TvT, or alternatively to tank fire. It just doesn't hold up. Sometimes it gets that one lock-on that changes the game. Granted, but other times it just doesn't really help out. So if you can skip the Cyclone, if you don't fear harassment or a Banshee or you know, really awkward pushes with when they have Cyclones, I guess, like if you're not fearful, going right into the tanks can be really, really nice, because if you go right into the tanks, you also might be able to do a nice push which I don't know if HeRoMaRiNe wants to do. He is expanding, but there's a lot of situations where
right, Captain.
if you expand, it is often nicer to attack to get control over the game and kind of, you know, get them off your back before they even try to get on your back. But we'll see if that's HeRoMaRiNe's plan. I mean, with tanks, you can also just spread them around and feel pretty safe. Stim's on the way. Another Raven here for Vindicta. It says was slower, but that's also his third Raven, so that's a big difference there. HeRoMaRiNe with the third on location. That is damn bold. TvT doesn't usually have this. TvP, it's more of like you have to, basically. But TvT, ooh, it's usually not advisable to do this. There's so many units available in TvT that, you know, picking up an SCV is very, very easy without loss of defenses back at home. And HeRoMaRiNe, if he was planning any attack, I mean, it's certainly been delayed now, and I just figure he's not going to do it. Vindicta has his own third CC finishing up in base, a lot more safe, but the risk that HeRoMaRiNe has taken seems to probably still be paying off here. I am a little more worried about Vindicta's stim timing. He finally swaps over that factor, or the starport, as, you know, he went for a third Raven. That's a huge investment, and is now starting up stim, which HeRoMaRiNe gets to see, actually, so he knows he has a substantial lead on that. But the upgrades are in favor of Vindicta if we get to that stage. HeRoMaRiNe, I said it looks like his risky play is going to pay off, but that's what I said looks like. Just before the command center is done, we have a huge attack. Auto turrets going down every which way. Ravens of Vindicta, they were more plentiful. They should have had more auto turrets, but they didn't really work out that way. I mean, Vindicta was in such a hurry to stop this third CC from finishing that he didn't exactly posture slowly and carefully, but that was the same for HeRoMaRiNe, right? HeRoMaRiNe was like, oh shit, like, let's go ahead and defend this. I'm actually surprised that Vindicta lost that battle as hard as he did, considering both of them were trying to be very speedy about that, but Vindicta really did take a huge loss. He lost 2 out of 3 of his Ravens, this one looking very, very weak. He lost a lot of his tanks, a lot of his fodder, and he does not have that stim prepared. Not that HeRoMaRiNe has a lot of Marines to even utilize stim, but he does have these 3 tanks with the vision from the Vikings to start taking out Vindicta. Vindicta actually gets a little bit lucky, or HeRoMaRiNe makes a bit of a mistake, I should say, by letting his tank die like that, but Vikings landing on the second tank of Vindicta, that's the brand new tank as well. He's not going to have another one. That's getting very, very awkward. He's going to have to pull his SCVs away. These were repairing the Raven, that's why it's looking like this, but he's got to pull his SCVs away from the natural. He is still mining from his third, and ooh. Okay, well that's gonna be it then. The Raven thought it was gonna be clever, gets bopped by a Widow Mine, and the splash from a Widow Mine on top of tanks isn't gonna be enough friendly fire to help you out there. And he has to tap out. GG. Thank you, Diesel, for the 32-month resub. So a harsh counter. Vindicta's 3 Ravens not working out as well as he hoped. As we get into game number 2, Eternal Empire, I'm actually just going to go ahead and put the overlay on, and I'm going to be right back. Why not delay stim 3 seconds till the scan goes away? It doesn't matter. He either sees it not spinning and knows he has a faster stim timing, or he sees it start to spin and knows he has a faster stim timing. There's no benefit for Vindicta to fake not going for stim with that barracks having been just swapped over to a tech lab. And with his barracks being produced under that scan as well. Like, HeRoMaRiNe knew he was going to get stim and was late to it. Alright, be right back.
Resubscription received. Apparently you are doing something right, Captain. Twitch Prime sub received. Thank you for appeasing the overmind.
Alrighty then. Well, that's awkward. There you go. Thank you very much, Hard Revenge, for the 39-month resub. G'day, boss. And we're high-fiving each other. And thank you, the official Jim Varney, for that Twitch Prime sub. Thank you for picking me for your monthly Twitch Prime sub. It's a special feeling. Alright, so Eternal Empire game number 2, Vindicta down 1. He's in the bottom left. In the upper right, going for 2 racks. We have HeRoMaRiNe. Not the proxy 2 racks, but rather the... I mean, sometimes defensive, I guess 2 racks, but the opening with aggression without committal 2 racks. That's what we'll call it. Very tricky for the other Terran to figure out this is going on, though, because with the supply depot going down, it could still be a factory expand with the factory just out of range. Often it's not, right? Often, if it is a factory expand, they don't kind of hide it like this. Setup does. So he might be a little more wary, like, oh, okay, well, it could be that. I'm maybe going to go ahead and assume it's this. 2 racks. We'll see how Vindicta reacts to the racks. He's got a command center on location as he is going through a 1 rack expand. He has a Reaper, and now he's trying to build those Marines. Marines do build faster than those Reapers, but they don't have the crowd control or micro-ability of their Reaper counterparts. So that always makes it a little bit dangerous. Vindicta is building a bunker, though, and given just 5 more seconds here, he will not have to worry about defending his natural base. With HeRoMaRiNe having at least 3 Reapers, and it is commonly 3 Reapers, he will still have to worry about the high ground, which is exactly why he moves to the high ground. So Vindicta did figure this out based on this timing of the supply depot. That lack of factory in sight, and has done a very good job of defending this. HeRoMaRiNe now having 3 Reapers is not going to help him very much. Is that who Jim Varney is? I didn't even know that. So I said that 3 Reapers were going to help him very much, and I was totally wrong. He actually obliterated Vindicta's units. That was not supposed to happen like that. At least one of these Reapers was supposed to die for that trade. But the good news is Vindicta did not take this lightly. He did build a Hellion, didn't just go immediately into this tech lab or reactor. It's still really tricky, though, because 3 Reapers with a concave can take out a Hellion given good control, which HeRoMaRiNe does have. Vindicta was supposed to have defended against this perfectly, and it's now quickly turning imperfect. The Hellion's not going to be able to repair fast enough, but oh my god, he just barely does. The decision to pull the SCVs off the repair to tackle that 1 Reaper actually really working out there, and this last Reaper is just 1 hit away from death. It's starting to heal up, however. He's going to tag it again with like an SCV shot, or it's going to be able to take out the Hellion. He does with a grenade. 2 Marines are out now, though, and that Reaper will have to skedaddle on back home. Maybe built in the bunker. Oh, so close. 1 Reaper is no longer that big of a deal, but it just really sucks to not take that out, take away any further scouting from it. You know, literal scouting in the main base, or even just taking the Zelnaga is a big frustrating point about that. So losing 4 SCVs, losing some mining time as well. HeRoMaRiNe, his command center is now done. He is a very small, but still there, worker lead, and he should be feeling happy about how that opener went, especially because it wasn't supposed to go that way. Vindicta actually looked like he had everything under control. These guys Grandmasters? Yes, they are pros. Well, the tank out. Vindicta is probably safe, although HeRoMaRiNe is trying to do something clever here with the Cyclone. The game goes on with Sim once again in HeRoMaRiNe's favor, but no 3rd CC on location this time. Not that bold. Apollo, if you want to sit, then sit. Only 1 engineering bay? That's not right. Is he 2 basing? Oh my god, he is. Oh. So you don't see this basically ever anymore when it comes to Korean or European TvT. Might be a bit different on the North American ladder, or just might be something that Vindicta wants to try and do, but two-base attacks have really fallen out of favor. You are either getting a third CC or, gosh, you two racks, you know? Like, it's a third CC type of meta these days, and that doesn't mean you don't have attacks. Oh, we often do. The triple Raven attack, the tank attack with the Viking support, you know, both options we saw last game. Those are the options we talk more about. Maybe a funny Marauder Hellion attack that gets into a third CC. But this two-base build that we see coming out from Vindicta is old. It's supposed to be this nice little dynamic, this fun thing where, yes, your third CC is later, but once again, you have more ability to punish your opponent. But I feel like what happened at some point, and this is maybe 1 or 2 years ago, was that basically Terrans as a collective just got good against defending. In this case, Vindicta, despite having a later third, has already taken more damage from HeRoMaRiNe than any damage he could put on him. HeRoMaRiNe didn't really invest much into the starport units. He didn't go for a second Raven. They go into Vikings. His stim was really well timed. His combat shield's really well timed. His upgrades really well timed. Like, if HeRoMaRiNe was all types of defensive, just waiting for things to happen, just waiting and building up technology, then he probably has to turtle a bit more. And that's the usual dynamic we see. But since he didn't do that, he actually has better timings on the upgrades than Vindicta, which makes his two-base thing here look even worse. He's going to have one upgrade against two. He's going to have to wait for combat shields against his opponent. He's going to have a later third, not on location, no double factory production. He is putting himself into a very all-in position, honestly. Like, he's not pulling the SCVs, but if this does not at least force the command center to lift, he is in a lot of trouble. And I can't actually see this making it lift. We do see a 20-ish army supply lead. Something had to be in Vindicta's favor for what he chose to do, but 20 supply in TvT really means not a whole lot, especially when we're talking about the amount of Marines these guys have with an upgrade advantage for HeRoMaRiNe. Now, that upgrade advantage is taken away a little bit with the anti-armor missile, which is really nice. Where is HeRoMaRiNe's Raven? There it is, though, just a little bit to the north. So the anti-armor missile is nice to take away that advantage, but all HeRoMaRiNe has to do is just hold on here. Just buy time. Actually taking the Raven out of the equation for a little while. Has another defensive matrix if you'd like to go for it. Vindicta actually is a drop into the natural, though, and HeRoMaRiNe was not anticipating this. A Sensitar on the left side, nothing on the right side. No missile turrets either. A tank pops out to try and help defend against this. But the tank of Vindicta is going to hold, and this is getting actually a little bit spicy. HeRoMaRiNe is still holding on, however, the drop in the main base is not probably going to be that deadly, despite taking out the Cyclone. HeRoMaRiNe should be able to respond very, very quickly. He did lose a tank in the natural, but has already replaced it. Vindicta's trying to get back into this. It's not going to work out. This did not work out. He did kill 14 SCVs, but he's still down 6, and his third is only on the way. So the best thing that Vindicta could have done, absolutely trying to use whatever army surplus he had to outposition his opponent, but HeRoMaRiNe very calmly just responded. He had enough units, he just needed to get them in position. Kind of being clever, not really going to work out so well there. HeRoMaRiNe now working on 2-2. Vindicta losing a Raven for really no reason at all, unfortunately. He's trying to collect his army together. Maybe thinking about going for another drop into that natural base. There are missile turrets being put down right now, but more importantly, there's already units here, so definitely don't do that. It's really difficult to also get a surround through this choke, so not really an option. Just collect it together and try and really contain HeRoMaRiNe. But that 2-2 is about to kick in, so Vindicta really has to do this attack right here, right now. He tries to move with his tanks and his Marines. The concave was okay, but it was also okay for HeRoMaRiNe, who just had better units. He had the auto turret. He still has 3 tanks ready to defend. These Marines are going to try and take out 2 of them, and they do actually. A quick pickup on top of the last one, but here come the reinforcements. Those are the units that were waiting in the natural, as HeRoMaRiNe was thinking there was going to be a drop. Well, if there wasn't, just F2 here, just pull it all together, and now HeRoMaRiNe has that army advantage. He has the upgrade advantage, and he has this game. GG. Vindicta tried something a little old school even, which can sometimes catch your opponent off guard, and it just did not work out. Good attempt.